On a crisp autumn night in September 1961, beneath a canopy of twinkling stars, an ordinary couple embarked on a journey that would forever alter their lives and challenge our understanding of reality. Betty and Barney Hill were returning from a modest vacation, unaware that they were about to become central figures in one of the most perplexing and controversial mysteries of the modern age. What unfolded on that lonely stretch of New Hampshire road is a tale shrouded in intrigue, filled with an inexplicable events that continue to baffle and captivate us decades later. As the Hills navigated the winding roads of the White Mountains, the world around them was serene. The rhythmic hum of their car was the only sound piercing the silence of the night. Suddenly, Betty noticed a bright point of light moving erratically across the sky. At first, she dismissed it as a shooting star or perhaps a satellite, but its movements defied conventional explanation. The light darted and zigzagged with an agility that no known aircraft could match. Curiosity piqued, Betty urged Barney to stop the car so they could observe the phenomenon closely this time. Pulling over a scenic picnic area, they stepped out into the cool night air. Through binoculars, Betty could see the light was more than just a celestial anomaly. It appeared to be a craft of some sort, spinning and emitting multicolored lights. Unease began to settle in as the object drew closer. Barney, a pragmatic man and a World War II veteran, was skeptical yet intrigued. Deciding to get a better look, he grabbed the binoculars and stepped away from the car. What he saw next would haunt him for the rest of his life. Hovering silently about 100 feet above them was a massive, disc-shaped craft. Through its windows, Barney claimed to see a humanoid figure staring back at him. Figures that were not human at all. Panic surged through him. He felt an overwhelming urge to flee, as if the beings were communicating telepathically, compelling him to stay put. Fighting the sensation, he sprinted back to the car, shouting to Betty that they needed to leave immediately. The couple sped down the deserted highway, but the mysterious craft pursued them, gliding effortlessly above. As they raced away, a series of mechanical beeping sounds filled the car. A tingling sensation coursed through their bodies, and a veil of unconsciousness enveloped them. When they regained full awareness, they found themselves miles down the road with no recollection of how they got there. 2 hours seemed to have vanished from their journey. Confused and disoriented, they continued home, trying to make sense of disjointed fragments of memory. Upon arriving, they noticed peculiar details. Their watches had stopped working. The leather strap of Barney's binoculars was torn, and Betty's dress was ripped and stained with pinkish powder. The tops of Barney's shoes were scuffed, as if he had been dragged. In the days that followed, both Betty and Barney began experiencing disturbing symptoms. Betty was plagued by vivid nightmares of being taken aboard a strange craft and subjected to medical examinations by non-human entities. In her dreams, the beings had large, wrapped-round eyes, small noses, and slits for mouths. They communicated telepathically and performed tests on her, including inserting a long needle into her navel. Barney, on the other hand, developed a persistent ulcer and anxiety. He was reluctant to discuss the experience, but he too felt that something profoundly unsettling had occurred. The couple decided to report the incident to the Air Force, fearing ridicule, but hoping for answers. Their account was unnoted or largely dismissed. Seeking solace, Betty began reading books on UFO phenomena. She wrote a letter to astronomer and UFO researcher Major Donald Cahoe, detailing their experience. This correspondence caught the attention of Walter Webb, an astronomer and member of the National Investigations Committee on Aerial Phenomena, who met with the Hills and found their story credible. As their physical and psychological distress intensified, the Hills sought the help of Dr. Benjamin Simon, a reputable psychiatrist and neurologist specializing in hypnosis. Over several months in 1964, Dr. Simon conducted separated hypnosis sessions with Betty and Barney to recover their lost memories. Under hypnosis, their stories unfolded with eerie similarity. Both recounted being stopped on the road by a group of humanoid beings who led them onto a metallic craft. Inside, they were separated and subjected to medical examinations. The beings took samples of their hair, skin, and nails. They inserted probes into their bodies and, in Betty's case, performed a pregnancy test with a long needle. One of the more intriguing aspects of Betty's account, she asked where they were from, and in response, he showed her a star map, a holographic projection of sorts. Under hypnosis, Betty was able to recreate this map from memory, which later became a subject of much analysis and debate among UFO enthusiasts and astronomers. Betty's star map featured several prominent stars connected by lines and dots, which she was told represented trade and exploration routes. In the late 1960s, amateur astronomer Mary Jo Fish took an interest in the map and attempted to match it with known star systems. After meticulous work, she concluded that the map could represent the Zeta Reticuli star system, leading some to refer to the beings as the Zeta Reticulans. While this interpretation remains speculative, it added another layer of complexity to the case, fueling further intrigue and speculation about the origins of the alleged abductors. Initially, the Hills kept their experience private, sharing it only with close friends and UFO researchers. However, in 1965, a newspaper article leaked their story to the public. The sudden media attention thrust them into the spotlight, subjecting them to both sympathy and skepticism. In 1966, author John Fuller published The Interrupted Journey, a detailed account of the Hills' experience based on their hypnosis sessions and personal interviews. The book brought widespread attention to the story, making it one of the most famous and well-documented cases of alleged alien abduction. The Hills account sparked significant interest in the scientific community. Some psychologists suggested that the experience could be explained by a combination of stress, sleep deprivation, and the social tensions of the time. It's noteworthy that Betty and Barney were an interracial couple in the early 1960s, a period fraught with racial tensions, which some theorized could have contributed to their physiological distress. Others pointed to the possibility of false memory creation under hypnosis or the influence of science fiction media. Skeptics also noted inconsistencies in their accounts and the lack of psychical evidence to conclusively support their claims. However, proponents argue that the Hills had nothing to gain and much to lose by coming forward. They were respected members of the community. Betty was a social worker, and Barney worked for the U.S. Postal Service and was active in the civil rights movement. Their sincerity and consistency of their stories over time lent credibility to their account in the eyes of many. Several pieces of physical evidence added intrigue to the case. The mysterious spots on the trunk of their car emitted magnetic readings when a compass was placed near them, causing it to spin erratically. Betty's dress, which she said was torn during the abduction, was found to be covered in an unknown powdery substance. Laboratory tests on the dress revealed the presence of anomalous compounds, but no definitive conclusions were drawn. These tangible elements, while not conclusive proof, provided fodder for ongoing debate and investigation, keeping the case alive in the public consciousness. The story of the Hills has been adapted into films, documentaries, and books, each exploring different facets of their experience. The case continues to be studied and discussed, serving as focal point for conversation about extraterrestrial life and reliability of hypnosis and the nature of human perception. Despite the upheaval, the Hills tried to maintain a semblance of normalcy. Barney's health, however, declined, and he passed away in 1969 at the age of 46. Betty continued to speak publicly about their experience until her death in 2004, steadfastly affirming the truth of their account. She participated in numerous interviews and conferences, contributing to UFO research and engaging with both believers and skeptics. Betty's unwavering conviction and willingness to share her story kept the dialogue open and the mystery alive. The enigmatic encounter of Betty and Barney Hill remains one of the most compelling and debated UFO cases in history. It sits at the crossroads of mystery and reality, inviting us to ponder the limits of our understanding and the possibilities that lie beyond the stars. Their story is not just about a leaked alien's abduction. It's a narrative that touches on human psychology, social dynamics, and the enduring quest to comprehend the unknown. So, as we continue to explore the vastness of the universe, the Hills' journey serves as a reminder that there are still mysteries that elude explanation, phenomena that challenge our perceptions and inspire us to keep searching for answers. Perhaps someday the truth behind that fateful night will be revealed. But until then, the tale of Betty and Barney Hill endures, echoing through time as one of the great unsolved enigmas of our age. Thank you for watching another file of the Wild Worlds Files. Please consider subscribing for more content and feel free to leave your comments. See you next time.